Well, I thought this was interesting. So you wouldn't really know it, but I spread cover crop across this entire field on the same day with a drone. This was soybeans, this was corn, and quite the contrast in take by the cover crop. So yeah, I mean, aerially seeding cover crop into soybeans in September appears to have a good probability of success. Like I was saying in earlier videos, this was triticale and camelina, and yeah, so that's what the camelina is looking like, and there's triticale sprinkled in there. I think I'm definitely going to try annual ryegrass. Hopefully it can survive up here. We do get snow usually in winter, even though, so this is zone 4A, east central Minnesota. So we get pretty cold winters sometimes now, but we also usually get snow. So anyways, triticale is kind of a pretty minor part of this mix, just because I couldn't get the pounds on that you want for aerial broadcast, even though, I don't know, it looks pretty good in spots. But yeah, in the corn, not so much. You know, you see some, but I think annual ryegrass should establish better in the shade in the corn. I would, you know, a good option for other farmers is, you know, to interseed really early. I already do that at like V1 to V2, but then come in and crimp it down right around pollination or before. And then the stuff I don't crimp, it's buckwheat, and it falls over and dies and gets digested by the soil. So there's nothing here at harvest, hardly. And so yeah, if we want to get a winter cover crop established, gotta fly it on in September. But yeah, the in-season cover crop works so good at suppressing weeds and helping my yields. We're definitely keeping that, and just trying to fit in a winter cover crop. But regardless, the soil looks really good. You know, there's always an earthworm. Oh yeah, it smells amazing. So, you know, harnessing your growing degree days in the early summer makes just such a huge difference. Winter cover crop, great. Love to have stuff to till into the ground the next spring. But yeah, having diversity out here for the vast majority of your growing season, not having a bunch of bare ground while the corn's small, that's something people kind of overlook, is when the corn's small and you have 30-inch rows, there's not a lot of vegetation out here. So we're filling in those gaps with you know, our wheat of choice, which is buckwheat. And this year we're gonna segregate a row right in the middle of the corn rows right in between them in the very center and do sun hemp. I've tried mixing it in with the buckwheat before, and it just gets out competed. So I'm put in just a row of sun hemp, try and get nitrogen maximized. But yeah, that and crimping it down when it's, 2.5, 3 feet tall. The cover crop, that is. There's a lot of nutrition we're putting back into the soil right when your corn needs it. Everyone talks about split applying your nutrients. This is basically a way to get around that. And as organic and you're applying a manure, it's really hard to be applying it in season. With poultry pellets, it's a little bit easier, but this way I'm applying my fertility before planting, also planting the cover crop, which is going to uptake some of that nutrition, and then crimping it back down to recycle those nutrients right before the corn needs it for putting on grain. So I don't know, I think it's a beautiful system in a lot of ways. It's improved my soil. Organic matter's gone up some. I'm not sure, where the plateau is. There's lots of high carbon residue, but I'm really operating off of the idea of maximizing photosynthesis to drive sugars into the ground, feed microbes. Dead microbes make up more organic matter than broken down plant material. At least that's my understanding. And we're using that to build soil, not high carbon plant residue. So I'm a big believer in this. It's all about cycling the nutrients as many times as you possibly can, maximizing soil life diversity. But yeah, just thought that was interesting that it worked so well in the beans and so poorly in the corn this year. But we got a plan. It's annual ryegrass. We're going to do that in both. So everything's going to get annual ryegrass and camelina this year. And we'll see how that works. Camelina just overwintered super well. It's starting to elongate now a little bit. And yeah, we'll get a couple more weeks of growth on this. And we'll blast it with a high-speed disc and plant. Hopefully mid-May. So yep, not gonna give up on corn, but yeah, it's a different beast.